was August 30th, 1992, when Nirvana played their now historic show at the Reading Festival. It was the band's second time performing at the annual music event, their first being in 1991 when they played a Friday afternoon slot. But this time out, Nirvana were headlining, playing on the third and final night of the festival on a Sunday night. Dave Grohl would later comment, "We rehearsed once the night before and it wasn't good. I really thought this will be a disaster. This will be the end of our career, for sure." Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love's daughter, Frances Bean, had only just been born. Also, there was rumors of tension in the band and that the band was on the verge of breaking up. Cobain later quashed the rumors, stating, "It was just examples of classic, typical English journalism, sensationalism." But the fans in attendance on the wet and rainy night in Reading, England, didn't know for sure if Nirvana were even going to show up. But show up, they did. Their performance that night at the Reading Festival in 1992 has been regarded as one of their best live sets ever. And this is how it all started out that night. You had Kurt coming out in a wig and a wheelchair. This was Cobain's way of answering back to all of the press pressure that had been put on his relationship with Courtney Love. And Kurt would reference his wife Courtney Love another time again in the show. We'll get to that in just a minute.
Some say love is a real.
Following the comical intro, the band kicked into an awesome performance of Breed, followed by Drain You, and then Aneurysm. All of the songs on the set list that night were performed with great ferocity and passion. The show consisted of 25 songs all in all, with a 7-song encore. The set was very Nevermind heavy, with pretty much the entire album being played that night, 11 tracks. The only song they didn't play from Nevermind was Something in the Way. Kurt even played Smells Like Teen Spirit, the band's biggest hit, which sometimes he would leave off set lists. But on this night he played Teen Spirit with more ferocity and passion than he ever had before, it seemed. Adding that more than a feeling intro to the song as well by the band Boston, as Kurt would sometimes do. Nirvana also performed 3 unreleased songs at Reading, Tourette's, All Apologies, and Dumb, all 3 of which appeared on their final studio album In Utero that came out in September of 1993. Cobain himself was very happy with the performance, giving it a quote, an 8 on a scale of 10. Looking back at the set in a 2018 interview, Grohl said, "I knew within myself I was questioning if we could play, but I knew we were going to try." The show was a really reassuring, genuinely magical moment of everything coming together at the right time. So the show was no doubt a huge success, but getting back to that moment we were talking about before, with Courtney Love being mentioned during the show, it was on All Apologies where Cobain introduced the song by announcing, "This song is dedicated to my 12-day-old daughter and my wife. She thinks everybody hates her," and then encouraged the crowd to chant, "Courtney, we love you," which they did.
So, this is being recorded, so why don't you give her a message and say, "Courtney, we love you." Okay, ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thanks.
And that leads on to our final moment from the show. Nirvana had just walked off stage after performing their final song of the night, Territorial Pissings, and we had this man chasing after Kurt, hunting him down for his autograph.
Excuse me, Nirvana, my son's just died. Okay, man. Happy birthday, please tell him. What's his name? Craig, please.
So, going by what this man told Kurt Cobain here, his son Craig was sick, he had leukemia, he was dying, he said, and he wanted to get Dave Grohl's drumsticks.
Did he make it here? No, he's here now, he's up there. If you can get his drummers, give him the drumsticks, he's got leukemia, but he'll be...
We'll sort him something out.
So Kurt signs the autograph for the boy and says that they will sort him something out, they will get him something. Now, there are those out there who have speculated whether the boy's dad was telling the truth. Was this boy really sick or not, or was he just trying to get the drumsticks from Dave Grohl? Or was the boy actually sick? Was this legit? But whatever the case, Kurt, going into this, being told that this kid is dying, he's got leukemia, Kurt was pretty cool and really nice to him.
Craig, here he is.
Hi, Craig.
Oh, hi, mate.
How you doing?
Oh, thanks.
He's
Oh, gosh, my hero. I like your wife, Connie, mate.
You do?
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
brilliant.
Thanks.
Thanks, mate.
Not very many people do.
So a very touching moment there, really, with the kid calling Kurt his hero and referring to that moment on stage with the whole Courtney Love thing, saying, "I like your wife, mate." And Kurt's like, yeah, not many people do. And at the end here, Kurt tells the boy not to smoke, and the dad hints at that leukemia thing again.
Don't smoke.
No,
He
I
does
won't,
smell,
mate.
he's just got...
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't legit, and I couldn't find anything else about this boy nowadays or what happened to him. Just saying that there were people out there who thought the dad had made up the story. So with so many conflicting stories around this, was it real or was it not real? Some people say the kid died later that year. Some people say he's still alive. Would be nice to actually know the real story behind it. Maybe someone out there knows a bit more about that. But besides all that, Kurt was going into that with that knowledge that the boy was sick, and he was really cool to him. Just topped off what was an historic night for Nirvana at the 1992 Reading Festival. As you will most probably know, Nirvana's performance at the Reading Festival was released on DVD in 2009, so you can go back and watch the entire show. And there are also a ton of clips from the show on Nirvana's official YouTube channel. A great Nirvana concert to check out. One of their best live performances that they ever did. And sadly, it was their final show on UK soil as well, so a little known fact maybe too. So there you go, guys. That wraps up the story of Nirvana at the 1992 Reading Festival. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out all of our other Nirvana content. We've got a ton of it here on the channel. Thanks heaps for tuning in as always. Be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll catch you next time.
Party on, Wayne.